Okay, so they can also have variation with powers. So they might say y varies directly as the cube of x. So what that means is y varies directly, y equals, and you put the k because there's always a k. And then, but now it's not just x, it's the cube of x. That means x cubed. So that's how you would write the relationship. Okay, so that's the idea. It doesn't have to be cube, it could be squared or the fourth power or something like that. Okay, so the distance s, where the body falls from rest, varies directly as the square of the time t of the fall. Okay, so something falls, out of a plane, so you push the skydiver jumps out of the plane. Okay, so he's at rest, he jumps out of the plane, and then how far he falls, that's related to the square of time. Okay, so time squared. Okay, so here comes the relationship. S, the distance that he falls, is equal to k t squared. Okay, so that's the relationship. And the big difference here is it's not just directly as the time, but rather the square of the time. So you got to go t squared. Okay. If the skydiver falls 64 feet in 2 seconds. Okay, so 64 feet, that would be the s, that's the distance, and t would be the 2. Okay, so 64 equals k t squared, right? Because the square is not going to change. The time is 2 seconds, but then we have to square that. Okay, but we know what 2 squared is. So 4k, doesn't matter which side you put the 4 on, it's multiplication. So I can divide both sides by 4, and I'm going to get k to be 16. Great. Now you know k, so you go back to your model and you write it again, only this time you put in the value of k that you just figured out. Okay, so now that's an equation like a formula that we can use. How far will the skydiver fall in 4.5 seconds? So S, that's the distance, that's what we're trying to find. 16, the time is what they give us here, 4.5 squared. Okay, so we have to use the order of operations. You can put this directly into your calculator. 16 times 4.5, but you have to square it. And then my calculator knows the order of operations. I'm getting 324. And what was that in feet? I'm assuming feet. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it was feet. Couldn't find it there. How do you know it's feet? Remember they told us 64 feet. Okay, so that's the answer. And these are pretty fun problems. They pretty much work the same way. The big thing is getting the relationship. And you find the K, use the K to create a formula. And then whatever information they give you, you'll be able to answer the question.